Welcome to Van City Health's product reviews. We are here to review and break down the top health and fitness products. Today we are reviewing face masks. We have 3 non-medical masks and 1 kind of bracket that you would put in a medical mask. These are masks that you'll wear when you work out or when you're doing any activity around town. I'm your host, Malcolm MacRitchie, a kinesiologist at Strike Recovery and Performance. If this is your first time on the channel and you're interested in health products or top health, wellness, and fitness people and businesses around Vancouver, hit the subscribe button. Our first mask is the Asics face cover, as you see. Pretty good material and construction. It has 100% polyester. It actually has a little sleeve here, so it's a double construction. So basically you have this little polyester sleeve on the outside, and then you have this inside kind of more plasticky, you could say, just ventilation holes. As you see in the back, it has little clasps there, so it has really nice elastic string to it, and it has these little adjustable things so you can adjust where you need it, and it'll clamp right on. This is our second mask, the lululemon mask. It is made out of Ultralu fabric. It's actually pretty stretchy. I would say it's pretty similar to what their leggings would kind of be like. It has 2 basically harnesses to put it on your head. They're both fully adjustable to adjust to your size, and it actually has a little kind of like nose protection for rubbing here. Not bad, pretty good material. The construction's quite nice. The only thing I could see, maybe the stitching would come undone, but other than that, solid mask. And our third mask is the Under Armour face mask. The Under Armour mask is made out of 100% polyester on the outside, 70% of kind of the connective, or even just on the outsides, is going to be 77% nylon and 23% elastane. So that's where you get the stretch from. It's a 3-layer construction, which is different than the other ones. So it has a waterproof outside, it has a middle layer, and then it has a softer layer against your skin. Construction's really good, quite solid actually. Feels kind of squishy, which is nice, kind of like a pillow on your face. Really good. It's very well designed. I would say probably the most well designed out of the 4. For quality, the Asics face cover is actually really quite nice. It actually feels very solid and durable. You can tell that they actually put a really good amount of thought into what materials they use to make them last. Only thing I could see breaking down first would be usually the springs in these little like adjustable, usually they break first and then it's really hard to keep it on your face. I haven't had any issues with it. It felt really sturdy on my face. The plastic inside layer feels actually really solid, doesn't move. Maybe some of the stitching might come out, but that's pretty normal with wear and tear of most products. For the quality of Lululemon, you can expect it's good Lululemon quality. Usually they have lifetime warranties on most of their garments. Stretch feels actually really good. It's one of the products that is the stretchiest out of all of them. Basically the whole mask stretches, so the quality of the material is quite nice, as you would expect from the material they use. The also straps they have are actually quite stretchy as well. The quality seems pretty good. The one thing I'd say is probably the stitching would come undone with normal wear and tear, and the attachment points are quite small, so there could be some tearing if you do heavy wear and tear on it. Other than that, everything seems pretty good. It's a really hard plastic basically clasp they have, so that could break down after a long time, but I don't see it as very likely with how most people use their masks. And now the Under Armour. The quality here is actually quite nice. I like it. The stitching seems really good and actually seems less likely to break than the other stitchings. It's kind of hidden. They did a really good job. I'd say this is, again, probably one of the most well-designed masks they have. The material 3-layer, like they just put a lot of effort in. The one thing I could see that could break down is just the ear straps. They don't seem as tough as the other attachments on the other masks, and they seem like they might break down a little bit more, and hopefully they don't break, but it does get quite thin because it kind of wraps up in itself. Other than that, I think the mask would last a long time. I actually have a lot of coworkers who do wear this, and they haven't had any problems wearing it for months. For the Asics, they claim that it provides unobstructed airflow. Well, that's not possible with a mask. I will say it's the most breathable out of all of the masks, but it is definitely not unobstructed. They also say it provides more room inside the mask. There's a good amount of room, but it's not the most roomy, and you also don't want it to be too roomy. You want a really nice seal to stop the spread of droplets. It does have an adjustable fit, and yes, it has pretty quick dry fabric, so they were spot on that part. Asics also says it helps prevent the spread of droplets. I would say yes, it helps prevent, not as good as the other mask by far. You can actually see through the mask. In my super unscientific testing where I just had the mask on and I breathed out and tried to feel airflow or heat, I felt the most coming out of this mask than the other ones. Under Armour claims it has a water resistant outer shell. I didn't really want to test it out because you never really want your mask to get wet. That will actually increase your chances of catching anything. Under Armour also claims to have a middle layer that's an open cell foam that can help reduce moisture, and it'll allow airflow to come in and out of the mask. On the inside, they have ISO chill fabric, which is their fabric they use in their garments to basically cool down. They're saying they're trying to cool down your face because you breathe out the hot air. I'd say it does an okay job at that. It was really no hotter than the other masks. I didn't really feel any difference in the cooling ability of the fabric. They also say they have an antimicrobial treatment on the inside of the mask to prevent bacterial growth. This is actually really important with face masks. Now, I can't test this out, but it is important because you're breathing in a moist environment that can lead to kind of almost getting athlete's foot on your face. So you definitely want something that isn't going to be a breeding ground for that bacteria. Lululemon also says it is designed for movement, their mask. That makes sense, how it attaches, how it moves. It is definitely designed for movement. They also say it's really nice against your face. And it is. It's honestly a good fabric to have on your face or skin. I found really no irritation when I wore it. So now we want to go into a little bit of the difference between masks. There is medical masks and non-medical masks. All the masks that we were reviewing today are non-medical masks. They are to be reused and usually made out of cloth or some other linen that's nice around your face. Medical masks are a one-use only, really good seal technology, and they're usually used as a part of infection control. So that means if you're in an environment where people are infected, it is going to help prevent that. But all of these masks are just source control, they call them. So that means if you are yourself infected, you're going to help prevent the spread of the disease or whatever you're spreading. Medical masks are also source control, so you kind of get the similarities there. A really good thing about source control is it's absolutely fantastic way to prevent spreading of any disease, any cold, flu, or coronavirus. The way you can think of it is even if the masks filter out 50% of your droplets, and when somebody else is wearing a mask, that filters 50% of the droplets that come in. It's actually 75% effective. There has actually been some math out there that says if everybody wore a mask, the pandemic might be over in 2 weeks. But who knows? That's just some scientists and math. If you're interested to learn more, there's a great video by ASAP Science. They go over kind of the science and math behind these masks. What I did find in my research is there is a very easy guide to non-medical masks, which are like the ones we are reviewing today. You want to have a good fit around the nose and mouth and make sure that there are no gapes or holes, and there's a really good seal around your face. The masks allow for really easy breathing in and out, especially you wanna make sure you can breathe through your nose and you don't just have to breathe through your mouth. You wanna make sure your mask also does not have an exhalation valve at all. That's just gonna spread droplets and also allow you to breathe in droplets. You wanna make sure they fit securely to your head, especially if you're doing exercise, like the ones we're reviewing are kind of made for exercise. So really secure fit. That also makes sure that you're not adjusting it too much to then contaminate your own mask with your hands. You also want to make sure your mask retains its shape after washing and drying. This makes sure you get a really nice seal on your face, nose, and everything. Guys, this is really important. It's super hard to wear a face mask, so pay attention. Take the mask, you put it over, put it on your nose, and then with the Asics one, you just adjust the strap in the back, and that'll allow you to have a really nice, secure face mask for the Asics. If I lost some of you, make sure you rewind the video so you can know how you do it exactly. But on the Asics one, how you adjust it is there's this little kind of adjustment plastic thing here, and that's just how you adjust how tight or how secure it is on your face. For the Lululemon, there's actually a little trick. You gotta remember to put the bottom strap on. I kept forgetting a couple times, so make sure you take that. Bring it on over. And then have this top strap a little bit higher. That I found puts a little less pressure on the nose, but do be aware if you're wearing a hat, it can feel a little bit uncomfortable on if you're wearing a hat. And also be careful if you have the straps on the ears, it actually can get a little uncomfortable. So just make sure it's off the ears and a little bit higher, and that's actually gonna create the best fit for the Lululemon. For the Under Armour, it's pretty easy. It's just like a regular face mask. Put it around the ears, snug it down, and then it has the little metal in the nose piece, so you can just press that down to create a really good seal. And you got the Under Armour face mask. Very comfortable, doesn't push, pull or push too hard. The only thing is you might get a little sensitivity around the ears just because it pulls a little bit. The material is actually like pretty nice spaced out. It's not like a string, so it is not really gonna cut into your skin too much. For the Asics, who I recommend to use it, anyone who likes to exercise outdoors and protect with the spreading of droplets, I wouldn't recommend using this indoors. To me, being able to see through my mask makes it seem a little bit more sketchy to use it indoors. But again, it was the most breathable, so outdoors it actually felt pretty good when I was testing it outdoors. Who I recommend the Lululemon mask to is anyone who works out indoors or even works indoors and has to wear one for work. It was pretty comfortable, breathed pretty well. I didn't feel too hot, and the straps actually are quite nice just because they don't pull on your ears for long periods of time. So I'd say actually the Lululemon would be nice if you're doing it or wearing something for a long period of time. The Under Armour mask, I recommend it for people who work out indoors. In short bouts, this actually probably would feel the best just because of how stable it is, and the breathability is a little bit better than the Lululemon in my opinion. So doing any kind of hard intensity workouts and you want to be protected because your gym requires you to wear a face mask, I'd probably recommend the Under Armour. If you have medical face masks, there's a little alternative. On Amazon, you can get this little kind of nose shield-y thing. Basically, it fits in your medical face masks, just kind of attaches on. And the really nice thing is that then it doesn't really push against. I will say it kind of does get rid of the medical face mask really good seal. So it probably wouldn't continue to be a medical face mask if you put the insert in, but if you're working out in it or walking around town or whatever, it's actually quite comfortable. I'd say it was probably the most breathable out of all the masks with the face piece in there. Just like underwear, these are final sale. You probably don't want to be wearing somebody's used face mask. So on all the sites and everything, they are final sale. The Asics mask was $60 on the Asics website with $10 shipping. Lululemon face masks come in a 3-pack and they cost $34. Be careful, they do sell out quite frequently. The Under Armour face mask is $35 at Sports Check. If you subscribe to their newsletter, you can get a 10% off coupon. On the Under Armour website, you can get 2 for $50. And it's $8 for shipping. The insert is $12.99 on Amazon, but it comes in a pack of 5, so you do the math. All these masks and insert all have their strengths and weaknesses, and they can all be used in different situations. You really have to find what works for you in a way. This is like buying clothes. Some feel more comfortable, some don't, and you have to kind of tailor it to yourself. The other unfortunate part is everyone's face is a little different. Some people have bigger noses, some people have smaller noses. So do take that into account. Make sure you read all the reviews. There's actually a ton of reviews on a lot of these face masks, so you can read how other people found them. As I said, the Under Armour one, to me, is the best for indoor activity, if you're doing indoor activity. For a long day, I wouldn't say it's as comfortable as the Lululemon. So for work, if you're working for a long period of time or you're doing an activity for a very, very long period of time, I'd say the Lululemon comes out in front. And as I said, the Asics, try not to use it indoors, but outdoors it was the best. And just for simplicity's sake, I had the best breathing experience through the 3D mask bracket. Looks like it's pretty cheap plastic, but it did give me the best breathing experience, heat, cooling, but it didn't give me a great seal. So I'd again say probably outdoor use, maybe not as much indoor use. Taking all of this review in consideration, if you want to purchase any of these masks, the links are all in the description below. It'd really help us if you clicked on all our affiliates. Now, do you think it's worth it? Did we miss anything? And if you already have any of the masks, Please comment below your experience with them. That would help us out and the people watching these videos a lot. Also, please comment below what you think we should review next. And if you like this review, please smash that like button and subscribe to see our next review.